Alhamdulillah, salatu wassalam ala rasulillah amma ba'd. Alhamdulillah, we only have a brief window here. But I want to just begin the discussion talking about dua al-istikhaarah, how, when, and with whom. And I know we heard and we came across dua istikhaarah, and a lot of times when the word dua istikhaarah is mentioned, we talk about nikah, marriage. However, dua istikhaarah, brothers and sisters, it's not just a dua that is to be said only for when a person wishes to embark upon marital affairs. Okay? So hopefully, inshallah ta'ala, we will talk about istikhaarah, how, when, and with whom. Okay? Now, particularly, you can find a chapter in Riyadh Salihin that deals with the issue of istikhaarah. And for those who don't know, the word istikhaarah is loosely translated as seeking guidance or seeking counsel. Alright? And it's basically seeking a decision that can only be done with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Alright? And this particular chapter that we're dealing with that talks about this issue is Istikhaarah wal Mushawara. Alright? So, Allah Jalla wa Ala, He says in the Quran, وَشَاوِرُهُمْ فِي الْأَمْرِ, in Surah Ali Imran. Allah also says in another surah, وَأَمْرُهُمْ شُورَى بَيْنَهُمْ أي يتشاورون بينهم فيه. In Surah Al-Shura, which is Surah 42. Allah says in these two verses, highlighting to us the meaning of mushawara, right, which is connected to istikhaarah, by the way. Allah says in the first verse in Ali Imran, Allah tells Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to consult with them concerning the matter. To consult with them concerning the matter. Also, Allah Jalla says, وَأَمْرُهُمْ شُورَى بَيْنَهُمْ, and their affair is something that is a counsel between themselves, amongst themselves, meaning that they seek to counsel among themselves concerning what the matter or the issue is. As far as istikhaarah, then it comes in the hadith narrated on the authority of Jabir radiallahu ta'ala anhu, who said that كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يعلمنا استخارة في الأمور كلها. Right, that the Prophet ﷺ, the Messenger of Allah, used to teach us the istikhaarah fi umuri kulliha, in all of our affairs. Fi umuri kulliha, in all of the affairs, not just marriage. Okay, istikhaarah should not be something that just come up just because you want to get married. It says fil umuri kulliha, in all the affairs, istikhaarah. Right, kasurati. Min al-Quran, like he used to teach us a chapter from the Quran. So the Prophet ﷺ used to instruct them just as he would instruct them to learn a surah from the Quran. He would teach them a surah from the Quran. He would do the same to istikhaarah. Yaqul, and he would say, إِذَا هَمَّ أَحَدُكُمُ بِالْأَمْرِ, when any one of you are decided or determined or have the intention for a matter, okay? فَيَرْكَعْ رَكْعَتَيْن مِنْ غَيْرِ فَرِيضَةٍ, then he should perform 2 units of prayer. Right? فَيَرْكَعْ رَكْعَتَيْن, because he says here he should bow 2 bowings, other than the faridah. We're getting to the meaning of فَيَرْكَعْ رَكْعَتَيْن. Alright? ثُمَّ يَقُولُ, then the Prophet said, then let him say, okay? Allahumma inni astakhiruka bi'ilmika. Oh Allah Jalla wa Ala, I seek your guidance, your counsel regarding bi'ilmika, with your knowledge, wastaqdiruka biqudratik, and with your capability. Right? Wastaqmina, I seek your capability, because you're all capable, right? According to your capability. And I ask you by your tremendous virtue, your great bounty. فإنك تقدر ولا أقدر. For indeed you're the one who decree a matter, the one who is all capable, the one who is in control, and I am not. You're the one who knows, and I do not know. وأنت علام الغيوب, and you are the knower of the unseen, all knowledge of the unseen. Then اللهم إن كنت تعلم أن هذا الأمر خير لي في ديني ومعاشي وعاقبات أمري. He says, oh Allah, if you know that this affair that you're asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala about, that you're seeking His counsel or His guidance concerning, if you know it to be better for me and my deen and my living, right? And the outcome of my affairs. Or he says, Ajli amri wa ajlihi faqdaruhu li, then decree this matter for me and make it easy for me. Thumma barak li fi, then bless me concerning it, within it for me. Wa in kunta ta'lam anna hadha amra. But if you know that this affair that I'm asking you about, that I'm seeking guidance about, is not good for me, or my deen, or my living, or the outcome of my affairs, or ajli amri, meaning the time limit of affairs, then avert it from me, then remove it from me. Fasrifhu anni, wasrifni anhu, and remove me from it. Waqdiru li khayru haytha kan, and O Allah, decree for me good wheresoever it may be. Thumma rabbini bihi, and then allow it, allow it for you to be pleased with me, or that thing be pleased with me. Qala yusamma hajatuhu rawahu al-Bukhari. Then the Prophet ﷺ, he says at the end of this tremendous hadith, which is a tremendous dua, by the way, and we can see that it's kind of lengthy. The Prophet ﷺ said, then the person should mention his or her need. He should mention his or her need. This hadith is collected by Bukhari, by the way. Alright? In the book of Da'awat. Babu Du'a in the Istikhaarah. So this is a lengthy dua. Alright? And it will require you to do some studying. In other words, learn how to actually say it. Require you to memorize. Alright? But some key factors within the dua that you should keep in mind is that one, that this dua was taught by the Prophet ﷺ to the companions, like he would teach them a surah from the Quran. So that makes this dua very important. Two, the dua was for anyone who has an issue or an affair that they are determined to carry out, right? And it doesn't matter what affair it is. They should seek Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guidance, and they should seek His aid and His counsel. All right? Another benefit or a point that kicks out is that they should perform 2 units of prayer. All right? Which now makes the dua even more important. And then another thing that we can take consideration in here, and that's that we understand that this particular dua of the Prophet ﷺ is mentioning here is showing that the servant is always in need of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guidance. And we will get into some more of that in the explanation itself. So this is not my explanation. This is a scholar explanation of this particular dua. I'm just telling you the things that should stick out to you, should pop out to you from this particular dua itself, just face value. Imam Nawawi rahimahullah, he mentioned in his book Riyadh Salihin, because we're coming from Riyadh Salihin, I told you this is a chapter that deals with Istikhaarah and seeking counsel. Okay? Interestingly enough, Shaykh Uthaymeen rahmatullah ta'ala alayhi, he says, Al-Istikharatu ma'Allah wal-mushawaratu ma'ahli al-ra'i wa-salah. And let's put things in its proper perspective. So when it comes to Istikhaarah, then that it should be dealt with Allah Azza wa Jalla. When you want to seek that type of guidance, as mentioned here in this hadith, for your affairs, then you go to Allah directly, not to people. Istikhaarah ma'Allah. That's what he's saying. Istikhaarah, it should be sought with Allah. Okay? He says, as far as seeking counsel, mushawwara, then this should be done with the people who are intelligent. The people, he says ahlul ra'i, but it's just not meaning any person of opinion. This is someone who has some understanding. What's salah, and they have some righteousness with them. They have some ilm, they have some knowledge, they're trustworthy, etc. Right? This should go with them. And normally at the top of the list should be the ulama. Alright? And then those underneath of them, those underneath of them. But you want to look for people who have knowledge, righteous, and implement that. Alright? These are the people that you want to seek counsel with. So istikharah you do with Allah, and seeking counsel you do with the people of knowledge. Right? Let's just say this clear. وذلك أن الإنسان لابد له من قصور أو تقصير. He says, and with that, we know that it is that man, whether male or female, we know that it must necessitate that deficiencies and flaws and shortcomings will occur from him. وإنسان خلق ضعيف خلق عظيم. Man was created what? Weak. فقد تشكل عليه أمور. So some affairs in his life will be made a little bit pragmatic for him. You understand? وقد يتردد فيها. And he might not be certain on which path to take. He might not be certain on which decision to make. Right? So he might have some shack with him. فماذا يصنع? So he wants to know, what do I do in this case? I'm not really sure that I should move this way or move that way. What should I actually do? لنفرض أنه هم بسفر وترجح هل هو خير أم شر. For example, he might be thinking, okay, I want to travel, right? I might want to leave this particular area to go to another particular area. I want to travel, right? But I don't know whether or not me traveling is going to be good for me or is going to be bad. أو هم أن يشتري سيارة أو بيت. Or he might have a decision where he wants to purchase a car, a vehicle, or he might want to purchase a house, right? أو أن يصاهر رجلا يتزوج ابنته أو ما أشبه ذلك. Or it might become an affair that he wants to marry. For example, a man wants to marry him to his daughter, right? Or similar to that. Or a man wants to marry his daughter, right? Or similar, or anything similar to that. ولكنه تردد. However, he's undecided. Okay? You know, he's kind of a little doubtful of the man. He's undecided. He don't know what to do. فماذا يصنع? What should he do? Then Sheikh Al-Thamini says, then we say that there's two pathways that he can go about this. نقول له طريقان. We say to him, there are two things. الطريق الأول, the first path, الاستخارة مع الرب. الاستخارة رب العالمين عز وجل الذي يعلم ما كان وما يكون كيف كان يكون. He says the first طرق, the first طريق, the first path is that he should seek this guidance with his Lord. رب العالمين, meaning the one who is the Lord, creator, protector, right, ruler of all that exists. الذي يعلم ما كان, the one who knows يعلم ما كان, whatever it should be. Like he knows whatever would take place. Meaning if it was to happen, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala know how it would happen. وما يكون, and whatever should be. And he knows if that thing was to happen and how it would happen. Okay? Right? That's the first one. It goes to Allah first. And this is important to understand this. Whenever we have a problem, we go to Allah first. Period. Alright? Not that we muhayyam. Even though you hear him saying, it's two things we say to him. He's not saying that you pick between the two. You go to the council of the people and you go to Allah. No, you go to Allah first. Awwal. Why? Because the Prophet ﷺ, he said in that beautiful hadith, Abdullah ibn Abbas, he says to him, إِذَا اسْتَعَنْتَ فَاسْتَعَنْ بِاللَّهِ إِذَا سَأَلْتَ فَاسْأَلِ اللَّهِ. If you seek assistance and aid, seek assistance and aid from Allah. If you ask, then ask Allah. Right? So the first one, and first and foremost, you should be asking Allah Jalla wa Ala first. No matter what the issue is. And we understand this in better context from the hadith of our mother Aisha, where she says that we will ask Allah even down to our shoelaces. So we should start by beginning to ask Allah first for any and everything. Okay? As long as it's permissible, by the way. But for any and everything, we should start with Allah first. Right? The second tariq is ثم استشاره أهل الرأي والصلاح وأمانة. Alright? Then you should go and seek the counsel of the knowledgeable, respectable, those who practice, those who are trustworthy people. واستدل مؤلف رحمه الله على مشاورة بآيتين من كتاب الله هما قوله تعالى. He says, with the author, talking about Imam Nawawi rahimahullah, what he used as an evidence for mushawara is the two verses that we quoted earlier from the book of Allah Azza wa Jal, which mentioned and seek counsel with them, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, regarding the matter. This address was to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the other, and he says to him, فَعْفُ عَنْهُمْ, pardon them, وَاسْتَغْفِرُ لَهُمْ, seek forgiveness for them, وَشَاوِرْهُمْ فِي الْأَمْرِ. He's given us the entire verse, and seek counsel with them in this matter. فَإِذَا أَزَمْتَ, so when you have determined and came to your decision, you resolved, determined the decision you're going to make after seeking the counsel with them, فَتَوَكَّ عَلَى اللَّهِ, then place your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Al-ayah, fi Surah Al-Imran. وكان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم هو أسد الناس رأيا وأصوابهم صوابا. We know that the Prophet ﷺ was the most straight people of the people. He was the leader of the people in regards to opinions of people coming to him and so forth. He was most corrected from amongst them. يستشير أصحابه في بعض الأمور التي تشكل عليه. He still used to seek the counsel of his companions regarding matters of the worldly life. وكذلك خلفاءه من بعده كانوا يستشيرون أهل رأي وصلاح. Likewise, we see that his successors, those who became leaders after him, like Abu Bakr as-Siddiq or Umar bin al-Khattab or Uthman, Ali, we used to see that they used to take counsel as well. Okay, they used to take counsel with the people who were knowledgeable and trustworthy. He says, so it necessitates that these two conditions regarding the one whom you go to for counsel, and يكون ذا الرأي وخبرة في الأمور, that this person be knowledgeable in experience, he had knowledgeable experience regarding the matters, the affairs. He should be someone who is seasoned, someone who is experienced, which you're asking about, right? And he should not be a person he should not be a person who is given to hastiness. When يكون صالحا في دينه, and that he is righteous and upright within his deen. لأن من ليس بصالح في دينه ليس بأمين. Pay attention to this point here. He says, because whoever is not upright within their religion, then they are not upright with their trustworthiness. So Shaykh Uthaymeen is connecting the dots here for us. A person cannot be truthful and upright in truthfulness if they are not upright in their deen. So in other words, a person who is upright in their deen is a person who is truthful. Do you understand that? A person who is trustworthy. If a person is practicing their deen according to the way that it's supposed to be practiced and intended to be practiced, and they strive hard and diligently, you can trust that man. You can trust that female. But if a person isn't upright within their deen, all right, and they're not striving diligently to that, then you already should know that that person isn't trustworthy. Regardless if they have a long beard, regardless if they wear a thobe, regardless if they wear a kufi, regardless if they are, they wear a jilbab, whatever the case may be, the thing that you understand, you must be upright within your deen. Why? Because you must fear Allah Azza wa Jalla. Alright? So he mentions that, the connections there. حتى وإن كان ذكيا محكما في الأمور فلا خير فيه. He says, even if the case may be the person is intelligent, okay? The person is intelligent. There might be experience in regards to the matters. فلا خير فيه. Then he doesn't have no good one. ليس أحد. He is not of the people you should go to seeking his counsel from. لأن يكون من أهل الشورى لأنه إذا كان غير صالح في دينه فإنه ربما يكون والعياذ بالله. He says, because if it be the case that he's not righteous, all right, within his deen, then it is possible that he can deceive you and refuge you short of Allah. Well, you should have enough if he don't. And he can counsel you with something that will cause you harm rather than will cause you benefit. Or he can advise you with something or counsel you regarding something that has no good in it whatsoever. And by way of that, what will occur is evil and corruption. That which only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is knowledge concerned. وَلِنَفْرَضُ أَنَّهُ رَجُلٌ مِنْ أَهْلِ الْفِسْقِ وَمَجْنُونَ وَالْفُجُورِ لَا يَجُوزُ يَسْتَسِيرُهُ لأن هذا يوقعك في حفرة الحلاك. So, in other words, now he's going to tell us the people who we cannot go to for counseling, the people who we cannot consult with our matters and our fears, that we want to do something, we want to travel, we want to buy a house, we want to buy a car, we want to get married, we want to venture into this new business project or this new business prospect or take this new employment. We want to do all of these different things, right? And we don't go to Fulan in our land if they have these characteristics, such as the people of this, people who do open sins, who do it publicly, consistently. Okay, these are not the ones you go to for counseling. You cannot go to them for counseling. People who are majnoon, the pen has been lifted from them. You can't go to them. People who are fujur, they are wicked. All right, these people are not upright. They are opposite of being upright within their deen. It's not permissible for you and I to go to them with our affairs and our matters to seek some type of counsel for them regarding what to do in these matters. All right, because they do not have your best interest at hand. Because what they will wind up doing is causing you to fall or lead you into said things will be destruction. كذلك لو كان رجل صالحا دينا آمينيا لكنه مغفل لا يعرف أمور متسرع لا خبرة له فهذا أيضا تحرص على استشاره. And look what he says here. Likewise, and I got to get ready to stop. Inshallah, I'll have another class. But we're going to continue this inshallah to get to the explanation of the actual dua. But I think all of this is beautiful because he's laying down that groundwork for us to know. You know, you want to do istikhaarah, but a lot of times when we do istikhaarah, we don't even do it right. We don't even know what to actually do. So I think there's some key points he's laying out here for us, because we can't just go to anybody with our affairs. Like he mentioned here, even if it be the case that the person is upright within his deen, and he might be trustworthy, right? However, he's heedless. Heedless of what? He doesn't know a matter that you're even talking to him about. The counsel you're trying to get from him, he don't know nothing about that affair. Or he might be hasty, he doesn't have any experience whatsoever, right? فهذا item, this person also, لا تحرص على استشارة. Don't be diligent or keen to use this person and seek counsel with him. He says, لأنه ربما إذا كان مغفلا لا يدري أنا أمور. Because it is possible that because him being heedless, he won't know what to do or how to give you right counsel pertaining to that affair. يأخذ أمور بالظواهر. He says بظواهرها, meaning that he would take the affairs based upon his outward, about outward play, his face value. ولا يعرف شيئا مما وراء الظواهر. Meaning he won't know anything besides that. He won't know no intricate details about the matter or the affairs that you're asking about. He don't know anything about that. Just know the outward appearance, and that might be the best counsel you can get. وكذلك إن كان متسرعا فإنه ربما يحمله تسرع على أن يشر عليك من لا خير فيه. Likewise, he can be hasty, and he keep mentioning this hastiness a lot, and that let us know that what you want someone who's going to take their time with the matter, because seeking counsel is giving someone your advice, giving someone instructions, guidance. So you want to make sure that you be not hasty doing that, because this is a life matter for somebody. This is a life decision. Somebody's getting ready to alter the course of their life, to get ready to change their life. This means something to them. So if you're going to tell them something and give them some counsel, you should give it thought. You should think about it. You should be experiencing that matter that they're asking you about. Someone wants to make hijrah. All right, you can't just be hasty and telling them, yeah, no, you can't make hijrah, or yeah, you can make hijrah, and you don't know the affairs. You don't know where they're going to. You don't know any of those things. That's not good. All right, you can give them bad counsel. You understand? This is a life, altering life decision that they're getting ready to make, and they're coming to you to seek counsel, and you're sitting there not giving any thought. So you should be a little patient, especially not to be hasty, because there's no good in regards to that. The Sheikh said, فَلَا بُدْ أَنْ يَكُونَ ذَا الْخِبْرَةِ وَذَا الرَّأْيِ وَالصَّلَاحِ فِي الدِّينِ. So the conditions that this person should have, that you seek counsel for, he should be a person of experience, especially in the matter that you're asking him about. He should be a person who is learned, okay? And he should be upright within his deen and trustworthy. All right? These are the people that you want to use when you go to them to seek their counsel. All right? Do not just go pick anyone up. Oh, I know the brother, he be at the masjid, so I'm going to talk to him about your affairs. No, because he probably don't possess these qualities here. Okay? Don't go to the sister. Oh, I know the sister, let me talk to her. Sister Khadija, she good. Right? She might don't possess the qualities here. You understand? So you want to be careful who you go to. And you got to remember something. When it comes to any act of good or any act of benefit, there is an envier to every act of benefit. It doesn't mean the person you're going to is going to envy you. That's not what I'm saying. You need to understand blessings. Apostle Sallallahu said, فَإِنَّ كُلِّ نِعْمَةٍ مَحْسُودٍ. Every blessing is envied, whether you like it or not. There's not one blessing that Allah has conferred upon man except that there is an envier for that blessing. Be it shaitan or be it another human. You understand? It's still there. So you want to be extremely careful when you want to relate some good news to someone and so forth. Or even when you want to make a life-altering decision, you want to be extremely careful who you go to. So you want to make sure that they have your best interests at hand and they know what they're talking about. And they're going to give you advice that can be applicable. You understand? Sometimes we be so eager to get certain things done, and we do that. Another thing a lot of people want to ask about, and hopefully inshallah we get to all of that, I'm getting ready to stop. Another thing that people like to ask about in terms of the counsel. Do you seek the counsel before making the dua istikhaarah, or do you seek the counsel afterwards? All right? There is a difference of opinion amongst the ulama. Do a person go seek the counsel, then makes the decision to go to Allah, right? However, from everything that we read first, it would appear that you start with Allah Azza wa Jal first. That you make the istikhaarah first due to the hadith of Jabir. Because the Prophet said, إِذَا هَمَّ أَحَدُكُمْ, if any one of you, right, فِي الْأُمُورِ كُلْهَا, any of your affairs, has anything that you decide to do, you should start with Allah. And then he mentions what you should do. Mention Allah, do the istikharah, do the salat, then seek the counsel. Right? But some scholars say, hey, that's not obligatory in the hadith. Alright? So, in other words, you can seek counsel, do the dua, etc. Right? Whatever is easy for your heart. There is a difference of opinion amongst the ulama with that. Shaykh Uthaymeen rahmatullah ta'ala alayh, as we said, we can stop here. ولكن كيف تكون المشاورة؟ المشاورة تكون إذا حدث له أمر يترتب فيه جمع ما يرى أنهم أهل المشاورة وإبراءهم وصلاحهم واستشارهم. And we'll stop here on this point here. He says, because I want to stop here. I don't want to stop before making this last point. I don't want to start back up on that. All right, so. We said, وَقَالَ تَبَارَكَ وَتَعَالَى وَأَمْرُهُمْ شُورُهُمْ بَيْنَهُم. The second verse that Imam Nawawi brought as a proof that consultation is with men, meaning this verse and shura, the consultation of their affairs is between them. Shaykh Uthaymeen comment on this verse. He says, أَمْرُهُمْ مُشْتَرِكُ الَّذِي هُوَ لِلْجَمِيعِ كَالْجِهَادِ مَثَلًا فَإِنَّهُ شُورَ بَيْنَهُم. He says their affair, that which they share in between, meaning all of them, in regards to that matter, like say for example jihad. For example, he says, فَإِنَّهُ شُورَ بَيْنَهُم, then this is something they should seek counsel amongst themselves. فَإِذَا أَرَادَ مَثَلًا وَلِيُّ أَمْرَ أَنْ يُجَاهِدْ أَوْ أَنْ يَفْعَلُ شَيْئًا أَمَّ لِلْمُسْلِمِينَ فَإِنَّهُ يُشَاوِرُهُمْ. He says, if a person intends, for example, the waliyu amr, the leader, and yujahada, to strive or go fight, or that he should do anything in general for the Muslimin, then rally, they will seek the counsel. وَلَكِنْ كَيْفَ تَكُونُ مَشَاوَرًا. Shaykh Uthaymeen says, when does this consultation takes place? When should you take the counsel? He said, المشاورة تكون إذا حدث له أمر يتردد فيه. The seeking counsel should take place whenever there occurs to you some indecision, some doubt. You're not certain, okay, in regards to the matter. So whenever this occurs, جمع من يرى أنهم أهل المشاورة برأي وصلاح واستشارة. He says, so it will take place whenever they occur to you some matters which you are uncertain concerned, and what you will do is you will gather those whom you deem to be from the people who fit those qualities we was talking about earlier, that you can seek their counsel and their opinions, and they're upright in regards to seeking consultation from them. He says, as for istikhaarah, then this is with Allah. This is not with no human being. يستخير الإنسان ربه إذا هم بأمر ولا هو يدري عاقبته ولا يدري مستقبله فعليه بالاستخارة. So he tells us that istikhaarah is only with Allah Azza wa Jal. The person should seek Allah's guidance, the guidance of his Lord, if he intend to do a matter or carry out a matter which he do not know, or she does not know the outcome of that matter, nor do they know the future of that matter. Then it's upon him to make istikhaarah to Rabbul Alameen. Istikhaarah is to be made to or seek the guidance of the Lord of all that exists. And we'll stop there. And then he goes into the meaning of istikhaarah the next time we start up, inshallah ta'ala. But hopefully we were able to benefit, get to understand it. Istikhaarah, right? How, when, and with whom. We answered the with whom. Istikhaarah is to be done with Allah. We answered that part. How is to be done? Stay tuned for that. When is to be done? Stay tuned for that. But whom it's to be done with is with Allah Azza wa Jal. So we answered that question. Istikhaarah is for Allah, counsel is with the people. Whatever we said that was incorrect from ourselves, from ourselves and shaitan, whatever says correct from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. جزاك الله خيرا. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.